This is what it looks like when you get a mail order queen. So, came from Pendle Apiaries up in beautiful Stonyford, California. Comes in the mail just like you see it. Inside, you have a queen and some nurse bees, candy plug, and I pull this plug here, pull that plug, there's a small candy plug in there, and then they eat their way through into the bees and release the queen. Put her back. I gave her just 1 drop of water. Okay, my queen came today, so now I need to move this nuke down to this board, and what I've done is there's a queen excluder here. I separated this last week with Tina's help, so there's a queen up in here. This is just a feeder, nothing going on here. So there's this queen excluder, then I've got a reducer board. So what should happen is I just pick up this nuke, set it down on my board here, and now I've separated the nuke back to here. This will go queenless for 24 hours, and tomorrow I'll put the queen, the new queen that just came in the mail, I'll put her in here. I'm going to give a little smoke. I'm going to sneak it underneath here, try and drive some of the bees up so I don't drive them all down and out of the nuke. So I'm just going to go under the queen excluder if I can get it in here. There we go. Get my hive tool in there. Pry up, put a little smoke in there. Okay. Give the bees a little time to move up. I've never done this, so I have no idea how many bees are going to come flying out of here when I open this. Make sure this is loose. Here. Here. Okay. Here is the moment of truth. Some newspapers there. Oops, I got a bee. I didn't want to get a bee. Sorry, bees. Move that back over the board. Put my reducing entrance in there. Okay, then up here, we've got my reducing board and my queen excluder, which I've already propolized in place. And, get some of the bees off of here and get bees off of here as best I can. Boy, I noticed the other day when I shook them all over the front of me. I need to be careful of that. So now I've got a bunch of lovely bees here doing their thing. I've got a few on the queen excluder, which is now cleaned off. Now I need to put my feeder board on, which is here, and my spacer, and that, make sure I got no bees under there. Feeder board's in, and just see, got one of these round feeders. They like that. It's empty right now. I'll fill it up once I get everything put together. So it goes on there. And I'll have my spacer, just so I have room for my feeder. It's on there. And then my custom copper topped lid. Make sure there's no bees under there. There we go. That's on. Now the nuke's over here. Put the queen in here tomorrow. There will be some, if there's any field bees in here, they might end up going back here. We'll have to see. I'm going to go ahead and check this. And they're out of syrup too. I'll feed these since it's starting off. These used to have, they're almost honey bound. I was feeding them most of the summer because they started out as a nuke. And then Tina said, oh, you're getting honey bound. But now I've taken a bunch of that out and put it in here, and I put some empty frames. So I'm going to feed them a little more just to make sure they go along. I've got these still bees on the newspaper because that was full of sugar water. But you can see how much of that newspaper they ate up. Okay, today's the day we put the new queen in. I'm going to give a little smoke out front, if I can here. A little smoke underneath. You have a screen bottom board. Get a little smoke in the top board there. And now, pull the lid off. This is my super that's just a spacer for my feeder. There are bees in the feeder, so I'm just going to pick it up just like it is. Set it back down on the spacer. Super. Now, before I add the queen, I need to check for queen cells, supersedure cells. So I give them a little smoke. Need to get this pollen patty up, which they're eating right now. Set that over here. Need to pull a frame to get room to pull out the other frames. That's just a blank frame I put in the other day. There's nothing going on there. Now, pull frames one at a time. That's one that I added when I built the nuke. Nothing there. Okay, lots of uncapped honey or sugar water. No queen cells there. Back in. Come on, ladies. Move out of the way. Get room for these. Now they're getting a little tight in there. I'm going to have to use my frame lifter. This thing is very, very heavy. It is solid honey, sugar water, everything else. I've got some brood cells on there still from before I took queen off. I don't see any queen cells. That's good. Next one. This one's not very heavy. Wow, huge solid brood pattern. It's from the queen before I pulled her. Getting lots of brood there. Got a little bit of brood in here with capped honey, and this side is just honey. So I'm going to put the queen, when I put it in, between these two frames since there's brood. on either side, and there's room for her to lay. So far, no queen cells. This frame is an empty frame I put in. They pulled, in a week, they pulled that. Nothing on that side. That's a frame I put in when I pulled out some of the other brood frames. Okay, this is a very heavy frame. It's got to be solid honey and capped sugar. Boy, that is just solid. Wow. But that is mostly sugar water that I've been feeding them. Can't call it honey when you're feeding them sugar water, because it's not. Another one. Solid honey. Some uncapped honey, some unpulled stuff on that side. So they got plenty of stores for the winter there. Last frame. This last frame's kind of got messed up. It's natural wax that I put in there. It's kind of melted, deformed. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'll leave it in there for now. See if they fix it. Okay, so no queen cells there. So now I have to push these back. Make my space. Good job, ladies. And the queen cage is going to go in this space here I just made. But I have to check the bottom box. Smoker went out again. Okay, I'm going to pull this top frame, top box, I should say, set it over on the wall. Boy, that's heavy. Now I need to check the bottom box. So, give them a little smoke. Oops. Let them know I'm coming. See what I find. Pull this first one. This first one looks like honey. Honey there. There's not a whole lot going on. Just honey, partial frame. Now, start pulling these apart. Boy, I can hear the bees buzzing. Just they pulled a little bit of wax there, not much there. Not much going on there. Boy, a lot of bees in this next frame. This one is a frame that was in the nuke. This thing started from a nuke in June, that I got in June. So I see a lot of capped honey there. A lot of pollen, some uncapped honey. A lot of pollen, uncapped honey. No queen cells.
Boy, it's very difficult not to squish bees. They don't like to move very much. Okay, this is an empty frame that looks like they're working on pulling wax. No queen cells there. No queen cells there. Okay, ladies, move your bottoms. Okay, this one has some capped brood from the previous queen. Looks like some drone cells. They look like lots of capped brood. But the queen did really good here. Yeah, a couple of those might be drone cells. But that queen was a supersedure queen when I did my walkaway split. So she's doing really good. Okay, this is just a frame of, I started using black foundation so I could see the eggs easier. And I see there were, oh, here's a queen cell. I don't know how they got a queen cell there because there's no eggs there. Looks like they might have started something there. Another frame of black foundation, nothing on it. These I put in to replace the ones I took out when I made the split, which is right there. This here next frame is just foundation that they haven't started on. I'm guessing the remainders are just going to be foundation that hasn't been worked on. Yeah, nothing there, and most likely nothing in the last one. Although it looks like they did put some honey here. That's kind of strange. They started on the top of it. Across there, nothing there. That's funny. On the outside, usually they don't work on the outside till they get the inside done. Okay. Now I got to put these back together. Make room for my frame I took out. Ever so gently so I don't squish any bees. Come on, ladies. Now they're writing on my hive tool. Must be honey on it. Okay, I'm going to put this frame back. I've got a bee buzzing my head. She's not too happy, or she's just curious. Okay, now I need to put that box back on. But I need to get the bees off of the edge so I don't squish anybody. Smoked me a little bit because that there's one right here, this one bee says, I don't like what you're doing. Okay, let's see if I can get this one. That's probably a 60-pound box right there. Oh, I heard a crunching. That's not good. Bees all over me. Okay, now, the queen.
Queen's in here, and I put a marshmallow on that end. That's supposed to be a candy plug too. Figured I'd give them two ends to try. So I'm going to set this down in here gently. The bees are all over that cage right now. Okay, queen is in there. I don't think I have enough room. Maybe. I didn't think I could put this last frame back in, but nope, I can't. Okay, that frame will stay out until they release the queen. And they are all over it. I don't know if they're trying to feed her or if they're just upset and they're trying to ball up on her until they get used to her scent. Whichever the case, she's safe in the cage. It'll take them a couple days to release her. By then, her smell should be throughout the hive, and they'll be calmed down. Oops. I need to put my pollen patty back on. Give them a little bit of extra pollen in case they need it. Get my cover here. Okay. My feeder, I'm going to have to add water to that tomorrow. They're all covered up. Everybody looks happy. Put my cover back on, make sure there's no bees in this top because they would get stuck. No way to get out. Yeah, come on. There we go. Okay. Everybody's happy. Queen is in there. I will check on her. Today is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Probably check on her Sunday afternoon. See if they've released her. If they have, I'll just pull the queen cage out and put that frame back in. And then just leave them, and then I'll check in 3 more weeks towards the end of September, see if she's laying.